Hello, friends, and welcome to the space. If you've been here for a minute, then welcome back. If you have just arrived here and this is unfamiliar space to you, then welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we start, there is already, and I'm going to mention it, this is energy of anxiety or anxiousness. It's not my own, it's just something that's been picked up. At the same time, there's also this energetic frequency of a slow moving energy that is being felt and experienced in the body, and this is not something that's been explored in this space in terms of like recording it. This is something that is just like a practice for myself where the body is just allowed to move in the way it wants to move. Call it a somatic practice. I don't know. There's no real language for it. It's just experienced. So it's very peculiar because today's the first time I'm actually, well, I don't actually know if I've ever played music or sounds while I've been recording. I am now. So I'm wondering if it's just, yeah, it's just frequency, obviously, but I don't know why it's coming through now. So it'll be very interesting what gets spoken to in today's post. But let's arrive together. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. If that feels good to do so, let's sit in our seat. You can grab a cuppa if you like. I usually do, but our kettle's on the fritz, so it's just going to be plain old water for me today. So I've just sent hubby to get a new kettle. Taking some deep belly breaths. So there has been this like undercurrent of needing to ground, whatever that looks like for you, being in present moment, let's put it that way. The method that I use is mostly self-inquiry, and you can look that up, or somatic practice. So that could look like breathing, not necessarily breath work, but just breathing, being here in the now. Very rarely any movement involved. Yeah, so I don't know how to actually speak to this because this is the first time this has been explored in this space, but it's if I just tune in for a little bit or just be with the flow of it, it's like this it's like this energy that wants to settle. I don't quite know how to explain it, so it's definitely flowing, and I think if I'm going to try to put any language to it, it's not going to do it any justice. So I'm just going to leave that there, but just see. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely some type of auspicious thing going on here because at the time of this, whenever this is being, well, at the time that this is being recorded, it is the 21st of September. So it is the solar eclipse as well as the new moon in Virgo. All right, so what wants to be spoken to today? Taking a breath, taking a pause. The phrase meeting in the middle is being heard in, which is interesting because the last post that was done was something to that effect about meeting in the middle. So don't know if this is just a carry on of the current frequencies at play. I'm going to be quite neutral about it and just let whatever flow to flow. Which cards? Okay. Let's go with it. Let's roll with it. Let's see. I've not used these cards in a while. There's just a note here to be mindful of where you may be leaking energy. I did speak about this in the last post, as in your consumption, especially in regards to what's happening in the world right now. If not that, just whatever's going on around you per se. What's that? Yeah, there's like a need to really just calm down. Like, the phrase gather your energy is presenting itself. Gather your energy. Maybe, yeah, as I said before, like maybe there's some type of leakage, overconsumption of whatever. Now this is collective energy that's been spoken to. May not resonate with everybody, but if you're here, there's a reason for that, and trust that there's something in here for you. And if it resonates, do please share or subscribe if you feel so called to. Holy moly, okay. Anything else? Okay. So I've not used this deck in a while. But the first card we've got is Almoya, Awakening Presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. Awakening Presence. Very interesting. And then we've got Kuan Yin, who is goddess of compassion. So the card says care and compassion, choose to be love, do what is right for everyone involved, offering a helping hand. And Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth has been revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So just bearing in mind, right, we do talk about concept here. So yes, this is from the Keepers of the Light deck. This was probably, I think, one of the first, if not the first, oracle deck I've ever purchased. So I don't necessarily resonate with gods, goddesses, and all of that, but it's more about the message than it is the archetypes and the concepts, if that makes sense. It's more about what is flowing through the energy, the frequency. At the bottom of the deck, we've got Kali Ma. Interesting. I've just picked up the top of the pile and it's Lord Shiva, Transcendence. I do feel that very strongly. and Kalima is at the bottom. Facing fear, major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Kali Ma, or Kali, is the goddess of death and liberation, rebirth, and her symbolicism depicts liberation from mindset, from beliefs, from the narratives and the stories we tell ourselves. And she's sometimes depicted as very scary, right? I do resonate with her energy a lot because she essentially is the, what's that word? I'm going to say God, but G-U-A-R-D, of, or guardian, or the actual word's not coming through right now, of just cutting the bullshit, just snipping the bullshit, cutting, I'm hearing ties, bonds, attachments, whether this is external to you, as in people, or just your mindset, the things that you're telling yourself, stories. So that's on the bottom, that's in the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like collectively there is a massive shift. We've only been talking about this in the last couple of posts, and if you are, someone that does watch a lot of this type of content, then you would see a lot of people are talking about this massive shift that's occurring. That much is obvious. And we are in the middle. I said meeting at the middle, or something to that effect before. We are in the middle of this like energetic portal, if you will, where we're in between these two eclipses. So we have one tonight or tomorrow, and we had one on the 7th or the 8th of September. So this is supposed to be timeless. I'm just keeping the space open, but I do feel like because the energy is so thick, so heavy, some of that will come through here. So as we shift, as we're liberating ourselves from some of these mindsets, ways of being, a lot is generally going to fall away, right? Death, rebirth. A lot is generally going to, leave your life, or you'll come to discover that there's just some things that are not resonating with you anymore. Some of them might be a lot more challenging than others, and this will bring about this energy of fear, being in the unknown, not being certain of what's going to happen. That's quite normal to be in that state. But making sure that you are grounding yourself. I feel like this is a very it's not, I mean, it did come through the last post, but it's not a, I don't know, for some reason that wants to be left there. So staying with that message of ground yourself, ground your energy, however it is that you do that. Be in the here and now. Be very mindful of the word environment is presenting itself, but it's not necessarily speaking to again, your external environment. This may be a very much internal process that is like rippling outside. How does that want to be explained in a way they can understand? It's like, how people talk about manifestation is like when you're, which is not really a concept that I fully resonate with. It's like once you've been able to I'm hearing the word clarify. Clarify within yourself and calm yourself, regulate yourself. That plays out externally, right? Everything's energy, frequency. So the only thing we can control, and I feel like I say this in every post, is how we respond and we react to things. And there may be situations where you're coming into contact with a lot of clarity, with a lot of truths that are being revealed. You know, some people call it downloads or inspiration from God or Jesus. However it is that you phrase that, for some, there will be a lot of this kind of clarity happening. So to be super aware of where you're at, like really focusing on self, focusing on yourself and your own process. Because something's been shifted, something's been, like the words waking up is coming in. This is strange because this is the video is being recorded on a Sunday, which I rarely ever do, never do actually, because obviously my family is home. But it's being done on a Sunday, which is it's usually done on a Friday. I don't have the usual setup going on. I've got music playing, so there's something going on. Definitely shifting type of frequency. I'm gonna pick some, I'm just feeling drawn to pick some charms. If you're seeing a pause or anything like that, if you are new to the space, there is a lot of energy moving through right now. And so I'm just regulating myself. This is a way for me to, be with the now, be in the now. Yep, so that anxiety, that anxious energy is returning. Again, it's just being witnessed. It's not my own, quote unquote, my own, this body's own. So I'm seeing or hearing 3, so I'm picking out 3. What the hell? Okay. This is weird. So I've said 3, but the last 2 wanted to be held. This is strange. I've picked out, okay, this is really strange, but I'm just going to show you. 2 of the same, and these 2 little dinosaurs. I think that's a dinosaur. That is weird. What is that about? These little 2 dinosaurs. And then there's also this dachshund. But they're all facing the same direction. And the way I was holding it before, the star was in front of it. I know this is weird, but this is feeling like a collective pulse moving, and I've dropped the star. Okay. Like of a shift towards a light. A shift towards a light. So the star in the tarot, the star card, is representative of hope, which is blowing the mind right now, because those cards, hope, when I was cleansing this deck yesterday and some other, well, all of the decks, but that card, the hope card, came out twice as I was cleaning it, shuffling it. Hope came out twice. Let me just grab that star. Yeah, so it's like, even though it's weird because there's these dinosaurs and this dash out, right? You know, even those, the symbolic nature of a dinosaur is this like prehistoric energy. I don't know what a dash out symbolizes, but it's well, dogs represent loyalty, right? This collective conscious energy that's focused. It's like this laser focus. And there's definitely some, okay, there's something to do with the number 3. This was said in a previous video. There are 3 of these little things. Remember I said I'm being called to pick 3, but for some reason the 4th one needed to be held. There are 3 of these little things, and they're moving towards this star. So whatever that represents, make of that what you will. But there's something about the energy of 3, and this has been said again in other posts. I'm going to pick one more. This, and another star. This one's got a little fairy in it, but that's a massive star. What the? What do fairies represent? Lightheartedness. I'm hearing the word gaiety. Is that a word? Is that like being happy, lighthearted, fun, calm, peace, vibrant? Just lightness. There's just a lightness to it. What? I'm going to pull a couple more cards. I mean, I'm just going to show you these things again so you can see this representation of these 3 little energies, entities. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I've dropped it. And I don't know where it's gone. It's on the floor. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I've now dropped them twice. Hopefully not a 3rd time. But yeah, so you've got this, all of them looking towards the stars. Maybe there is something to do with the stars. Interesting, because again, at the time of recording this, what's going on here? At the time of recording this, it's solar eclipse, new moon, and new moon is representative of beginnings. Okay, I'm needing to just regulate again. New moon is representative of beginnings, of new starts, of hope as well. And then there may be some anxiety around that, because it's like there's these shifts happening, right? This, in some cases, really, where's the word for that? I'm hearing the word blatant, like blatant chopping of energy, or cord cutting, even releasing, even though it's not a new moon. It's indicative of eclipse energy. So that there's like this blatant energy. So what's left when you start cutting back and culling? Interesting, the word culling is used because it is like Virgo energy, and it is new moon in Virgo. So yeah, it's this culling of crap, this culling of mindsets, ways that we were expressing ourselves, exploring our lives, or this 3D experience. And there is some anxiousness to like, what's next? Yeah. Okay, so just being drawn to the symbols deck. There's definitely something about symbols, signs and symbols. You may be seeing some synchronicities. I'm not really getting it other than the number 3. For some, I'm seeing release. And on the other side, boundaries. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yep, boundaries around who you're spending time with. Not necessarily who you're spending time with, but people in your environment. Questioning these connections, these attachments even. If it's not people, it's just mindsets. Where was that going? There was something. Signs and synchronicities. So yeah, okay. It hasn't pulled in a while like this. It hasn't pulled in a while like this. That's weird. Oh man, this energy is bizarro. It's so bizarro. Okay, first card out, magic. And I just watched that video the other day. I did a short. Well, it was part of a bigger. What is going on with words today? It was a long video, obviously. This is a long form channel. But there was a short about the word magic, and that has a connection to that Mr. Bean video. I'll post it in the description, so if you don't want to watch the full video, you can watch the short. There's something about, I don't know, man, I don't know, just magic. I'm getting like it's a connection to the synchronicities, like things might be, I'm seeing the word time, but it's not a complete word. It's like maybe timeline or something like that. I want to say timeline shift. I don't necessarily resonate, but I'm just going to speak to it because it's coming through. There is hearing jumping of timelines, something to that effect, and it may feel almost magical, like, and that's interesting, right? Because the star has a little pixie in it, so it's not directly in regards to this concept of magic. It's just, it will feel like, what the hell? So when you're seeing these synchronicities or feeling these synchronicities or experiencing it, it might be like, what the hell? This is beyond my level of understanding for some. So that it feels like oh my gosh, this is so magical. Like, how do I explain this? So for example, a couple of hours ago, my husband was sitting on the bed watching a rugby video, and I don't remember what I was doing, but I started singing, "Do you remember the 21st night of September?" And then I was like, oh, that's funny because it is the 21st, well, day / night of September. And that's it. That's all that was sung. And then, as he was watching the video, about a few minutes later, what played on the video? The music was playing in the background on the video, as in the stadium. And guess what the song was? Or guess what the song that they were singing was? Do you remember the 21st night of September? I shit you not. At the same time, there was a fella with the number 21 on the back of his, their uniform. And the score was 40 something, maybe 43 or 45, 21. So that's what I mean. It might feel like these things that are happening may feel like, what the hell? This is so bizarre. For those that are used to these kinds of things happening, it'll be like a confirmation of sorts. But for the others that have never experienced this kind of thing before, it might feel like magic. And then the boundaries card came up again. So when we're in the space of relinquishing, I'm hearing mindsets, limiting beliefs, if you're culling, if you're, decluttering your home, if you're removing stuff from your spaces, whether that be digital, whether that be physical, whichever the way that looks like, you're making room for more. You're opening the space for more. And some of the more might be things that you're not familiar with, hence that anxiety, or perhaps even fear, because it might feel unfamiliar, or it might feel like, I'm just going to use that concept of magic, it might feel like I'm hearing the word jarring. I don't think that's a word, but like jarring for some, hence the fear. Let's go on now. Growth. There is for sure hearing stepping away from the old into the new. I'm not kidding you. This release card is at the bottom of the deck. So, this isn't something to fear. It might feel like that. It's just something new. It's just something you may not ever experience before. So it's actually interesting the way that I've put these cards down. So this awakening presence, or awakening, that was used. I don't that word. Yeah, this, how do I explain this? The word unknowing is presenting itself, so it may feel like the unknown. There may be this exposure to something that is very unfamiliar. Call it magic, call it God, call it whatever you want. This is a new experience. And there may need to be some serious boundaries. Definitely with where you share your energy, but also perhaps where you share your compassion. make of that what you will. Card again says choose to be loved, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. So offer a helping hand, then be mindful of which space that's in. I don't know quite how to explain that. I think you'll be able to pick up. If this is for you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Being very mindful of where you're leaking your energy or leaking energy or giving too much to, I'm hearing bullshit. Because, you know, a big part of what is happening now is more people are becoming energetically vulnerable. More people are becoming energetically vulnerable. And if you're not sure of how to protect yourself in that process, especially if this is like new territory for you, you need to be very aware of even what you're sharing with people, like what you're saying for some. And not to, be present. Just be present. And I feel like if you are present, you're being aware of the here and now, you'll be able to discern what is in alignment and what is not. It's like we're talking about the I am the body idea here. This might look different for everybody. It might be a thought or it might be a feeling. I'm not saying completely ride with it. It's just use your discernment and be aware of it. And then whatever this is, these downloads and understanding, it is growth, right? We're stepping into a space that is very unclear, like the path ahead is very unclear, but essentially all you're doing is coming back home. You are remembering who you are. You're coming into deeper connection with yourself / divinity, however it is that you resonate with that. It's just self. I might pick a charm for the release card because it has come out twice, and I'm hearing the word athame, which is this. Actually, I think in the book it's referred to as something else, but for some reason athame came out. Athame has a lot to do with magic. So, you know, if you resonate with like cord cutting or protecting yourself in a way, this is also a protective symbol. Let's just see in the book what it says about. I've just seen the word grounding. So yeah, definitely be grounding your energy. You are a magical being. Time to stop hiding the awe-inspiring abilities you have to connect to the divine. Working with the phases of the moon in ritual, with herbs, candles, Christian spell work, blah, blah, blah. If that resonates with you. If not, ignore it. Find what suits you best, with love and with harm to none. So the pentacle is a Wiccan symbol, amulet, and talisman, often symbolizing the element of earth. It is used for invocation and represents the ability to bring spirit to earth. Interesting. Again, I'm looking at the downloads because when I put it back at the top. So, you know, there may be this almost, what I'm hearing is like holy energy, this these insights, this clarity. Truth is being revealed. Okay. Let's... Interesting. I was going to draw a... this energy is so weird, man. Okay. Righto. So again, I've pulled two. The first one is strange because it is a moon with a star and a freaking fairy. I don't know what fairies represent, so you know, you can look that up. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not. Ah, there we go. So there's definitely something about magic, but not in the way we think about it. There's something about the moon, something about the stars. We are in this weird planetary alignment right now. And then we've got, I'm pretty sure this is either the hand of Fatima or the hand of Hamza, which is a, and there we have that pentacle. This is about protection. I'm going to have a look. It's in this book, even though... messages, man. Excuse me. What? I've just turned to a page that talks about the seven-pointed fairy star or heptagram is used as a symbol in modern magic. Why would I turn to that page? See what I mean? An elven star used to represent the world of fairies. It is believed the star is as important as the number 7 in various spiritual traditions of the world. It can provide a bridge or portal to the Fae and elemental kingdom of magic. It is not to be used recklessly or carelessly. Let's grab that card so you can see what it's referring to. Okay, that's the one I was actually looking for. But... yeah, that's it there. So that's it there. What does this look like, my friends? Does that not look like a pentacle? So something interesting is happening here. Just checking to make sure there's not that same symbol. Okay. Yeah, so this is the actual one I was looking for. Spiritual. This one says spiritual cleansing. It's not exactly the same, but I just want to have a look. Yep, Hamza is a palm-shaped amulet popular throughout the Middle East and North Africa. It means 5 and refers to the fingers of the hand. In Jewish culture, the Hamza is called the hand of Miriam. Okay. And in Muslim cultures, the hand of Fatima. So the actual, so that's that one there. It is time for a spiritual cleansing of the body, mind, or spaces in which you reside. We said that. We said there's a culling. There is an imbalance, stuck energy, or heaviness in your environment that needs to be released before you proceed further. Cannot make this up. Cannot make this up. Make of that what you will. Also being aware of jealous type energies. I just saw that card. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Whew. What are we up to? Just seeing 442 on the timer. And the angel numbers, the angel number 444 is protection. So really being aware of, yeah, your environment, your energy, mate. There are people grabbing at straws right now. There's a lot of seeing the the number 4 is significant, and I'm feeling this very uncomfortable feeling in the sacral chakra. What is that called? For some or other reason, I cannot think of what the sacral chakra is to do with. That is weird. I will look it up because I'm like literally drawing a blank right now. Yeah, the energy is just, it's picked up massively. So I'm gonna sit with this. Sacral chakra, okay. Be aware of energies, mindset, thoughts, behavior around anything that you're creating right now, whether it be an actual creative project or whether it be something of that nature, some type of project. And as I'm saying that, there's some release. Excuse me, maybe it's even something that you're not wanting to commit to anymore. Because when it was felt, it was uncomfortable. So maybe it doesn't resonate. Let me know if this is making any sense to you. Okay, the chakra of creativity, abundance, and pleasure. Let these words be your mantra. Find what fills your cup and pour it over the canvas of life. This is the time to put your creative projects first, the very ones you've had on the shelf for months. This is also the time to work on shifting your relationship with money and see it as an energetic tool that can bring you great freedom. This is also the time to focus on pleasure, what makes you feel turned on. Learn more about Tantra and cultivate Shakti, the divine feminine energy within. Dance around your living room and luxuriously oil your body. Treat yourself the way you would a lover, for you are life's greatest love. Take what resonates from that. But if you were busy reflecting on a particular project or creative endeavor, just be aware, be discerning, because there may be some uncomfortable energies around. Not great. Not great. Tell me more about that. So cool. There's a lot of release here. I'm going to pause for a minute. Regulate. You may need to hydrate as well. Stay hydrated. I'm hearing spend time in water as well, especially if you are open to hearing the words open up your perception, even change your perception. These energies are heavy. I'm just wanting to move away from that energy, but I just want to find out some more information about this. There is something about third eye as well, so yeah. I'm seeing it 3 times, people. 3 times. Okay, I'm getting broad. Okay. Bringing... I was pulled to feel get the card at the bottom, which is the Sun. It's the best card in the tarot. Happiness, contentment, light, right? We said that with Star. There is this light. And that kind of looks like a star as well, doesn't it? So it's like, focus on that. Focus on the light. And the orange is also indicative of that sacral chakra. So whatever it is that you are focusing on right now, wanting to create. Tell me more. I'm feeling like there might be some type of, I don't know why I'm hearing the word controversial or controversy. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but there might be some either resistance, hesitance, whether this is, you know, your own mind coming in, ego coming in, telling you, or speaking to you in a way that's creating some type of resistance. 5 of Swords. There's this energy of being in the mind about it, or listening to what is like this loop of thinking, this train of thought that's happening inside the mind. Or like there's this voice telling you to do something, and so yeah, there's a need to release. We had that. Protect yourself and release it. However that looks for you. Whether you need to do more grounding practices like meditating, or being out in the actual sun, spending time in nature. I will. Just gonna get one more card, and then I might pull from the, I forget what that deck's called. I've got the Hermit card, and it's showing up in the reverse. There is a need to, for some, spend time by yourself. I've got the Devil in reverse on underneath, which was felt to pull. Yeah, there's a need to step away from this energy. Whatever this is that's blocking you from being in that frequency of the sun, right? This life-giving source. And if you look at the Devil card, it's got someone on strings here. It's puppeteering, and I'm getting that vibe from the Five of Swords card. There's someone puppeteering, trying to manipulate, so be very aware of that. I'm getting this bottom card as well. Walk away from it. Walk away from it. Eight of Cups. And you know, for some it might be this creative project, or the version of it that's currently, because look at, she's walking towards the sun, but there's something being left behind. So whether that is mindset, whether that is people in your ear, she's also almost like left everything, you know, she's left all these cups in the water, even though there was a spark there. I'm getting like trusting the sun, walking towards the sun, even though you don't know what's coming, even though you don't know what's ahead. There's that trust, there's that surrender. This is the self-care, sacred self-care oracle. So I was just going to pull a couple of cards for those that might need some ideas on how to ground. As I said, my process is self-inquiry, which means I sit in silence and I'm aware of the thoughts. I query all the thoughts that come in. Obviously, somatic practice is something that I do to regulate as well. Yeah, whatever this energy is that's pulling at you, it is trying hardcore. Rest. This energy that's been kind of moving through this, almost said elliptical, which is interesting, right? That's like a hamster wheel type of vibe. There's this eclipse heavy energy, and it's a lot of people, it's making them really tired. So you may be really exhausted, feeling tired, not knowing why. And there's that little star. So resting, definitely resting. Okay, interesting. For some, actual pleasure, it might not be in the way this card is depicted, but doing things that, you know, make you happy, make you feel like the sun. Maybe it is spending time outside, or, you know, pleasuring yourself. I don't know. Create art. There we have that creativity coming through. Creating art, and it not needing to be perfect. It's more about the process of expression, right? Look at that. I love this, because look at that card. Look at the tattoo. It's the exact same tattoo that I've got. And I got this card, this deck a long time ago, and I didn't even realize anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Look to the stars. That's fun. So maybe, you know, being aware of what's happening astrologically for those that do resonate or align with that. You know, there's 4 different things here. So there's create art, there's rest, there's bring more pleasure into your life. And it's funny because I made a little checklist of things that I wanted to do during the school holidays. And one of them was have fun, because it's been like assessment after assessment. It's been, you know, trying to organize life thing. There's so much happening, I think, for a lot of people personally, and honoring all of that, because the energy has been heavy. There's been a lot of release this year. There's been a lot of things going on collectively, where, you know, things are being revealed and unearthed, and it's heavy. So, you know, trust that trust in the fact that you're here seeing this, for one, and let me know if any of this does resonate with you. But this process is gonna, I don't know where that was going, but this process is gonna look differently for everybody, right? So some of you might need to rest, and some can find comfort in looking at the astrological perspectives, and especially if you are feeling drained or you're feeling a certain way and you're like, wait, this is weird, why am I feeling this way? It's just being aware of what is happening in real time in the year and now, and you know, however that plays out for you, that plays out for you. So, and then at the bottom of the deck we have sync with the moon. I think I was talking about having fun. And I love the syncing with the moon part because, okay, if you are male, I do apologize, or if you don't get your menses, mine used to sync up with the full moon, and now it's syncing up with the new moon, and it goes through that process. So for some, that might be something about your cycle syncing up with the moon. And there's a significance there, because I did feel like this time was a significance. For the longest time it was full moon, and now it's synced up. Like I skipped a whole, you know, like it was early this time. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, or that might be too much information for people, but there's something there about your cycle, or the cycle, or a cycle, or cycles. I keep saying that word. There's something about cycles, right? Beginnings, endings, maybe even reflect or look back at when we had the last cycle of eclipses, like what was going on in your life at that stage. I don't know. But yeah, we've gone over an hour. The energy has been so bizarre and so like fluid, I'll say. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this made sense. If it does resonate, please feel free to subscribe so you do, or do subscribe, I should say, so you do get the notifications of when a new video is posted, because it is school holidays, so it might be a bit, it won't be the way I have been posting. It will be a bit sporadic. But anyway, take care of yourselves, especially today. Drink lots of water. Take care of your, I'm hearing take care of your heart. Okay, take care of your heart. Not your mind, body, soul. Take care of your heart. And ground your energy, as always. Okay, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next post. Mwah.